Hello, everybody. Welcome back to CCMMA. I'm your host, Kyle Diorio, and I'm with my lovely, beautiful partner over here.
Robert Dylan Vasquez, what's up, guys?
UFC 310 is in the books, and it was quite the event. You could say it was a snooze fest.
Well,
You could say it was dull.
the main card,
The main card was bad.
shout out to the early prelims and the prelims. They apparently knew what they were
Prelims.
doing. Yeah.
The prelims was where it was at.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the early prelims because I never remember to turn like the 6 o'clock prelims on.
Right.
But you said you had them on, correct?
First fight of the night, I think, was a knockout, I believe.
Kennedy Nzechukwu.
Mm-hmm.
Nzechukwu. Yeah, it says KO round 1, and you got Chase Hooper round 1 sub.
Dude, shout out to my old training partner, Chase Hooper.
Mr. Hooper out here hooping against a legend.
Shout
Clay
out.
Guida.
Shout out to Theo Vaughn for sitting in the fucking
Yeah,
crowd by
I saw
himself.
That picture. He was just chill. He was there for the fights. He was there for no other reason.
100%.
You get Michael Chiesa, another big name of the sport, getting a win on the early prelims.
Yep.
I know more names on the early prelims than I do on like the main card prior to this fight. Probably. Well, no, I knew everyone on the main card, but it just feels like there was like when we get into it, there's a couple fights that definitely had no right being on the main card, in my opinion.
We're right about that.
I mean, if you get to the actual prelims, you had a pretty good fight between Brian Battle and Randy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Controversial decision. A lot of people didn't think Brian Battle did enough.
They never do. They booed him in France. They booed him in Vegas.
That dude gets booed everywhere. Come back to the Carolinas. We'll
Brian
cheer for our boy.
Boo Bear Battle.
Boo Bear. I know I'm going through all the prelims, but there's big names on the prelims, everybody.
Sure.
That's why we're doing this. Aljamain Sterling lost to Movsar Evloev.
Mm-hmm.
Another close fight. Probably should have been on the main card.
I'd say now looking back at it, it's not like, oh man,
This is just all retrospect.
it wasn't in the forecast for it to be an amazing banger of a fight. And it kind of wasn't. There were a lot of good scrambles for them being 145 pounds. I don't foresee like Aljo being right in his prediction about people in the company regretting not putting this on the main card.
No, not inherently.
I see the inverse where you're like, oh, okay, like we're about to get into it. Why was this card? We fucked up by
on the card.
We fucked up by putting this on the main card, but the Aljo Evloev fight, they're not like, oh, we should have put that one.
There's multiple fights that should have been on the card over that in retrospect.
Right.
But it wasn't a bad fight either. Like it was a pretty solid little ground game.
Little skirmish.
Vicente Luque with a nasty Darce choke to get a first round win on Thimba Garimbo.
Which, if you guys don't know, if you've ever seen the Embedded, he's the guy who had a couple bucks to his name. Maybe, I think, I'm getting it mixed up with the $7 production that the Dwayne The Rock Johnson has. The Rock gave him a house.
Oh, that's the one he gave a house to?
Yeah.
Wow.
So now the memes are like, I'm going to need that house back, player.
I'm going to need that house back, bro. And in the featured prelim, we had Dominic Reyes dominating Anthony Smith in a really sad, probably one of the saddest fight endings I've ever seen. Anthony Smith in tears, possibly retiring. He said probably. He's probably done.
Probably, with tears in his eyes, probably. He might want to get one more because he's not hit or miss. He's like miss, hit.
Yeah.
So I think he can squeeze one more out. I hope so, for the sake of your doppelganger. You know, he's literally he's not as good looking as you, but yeah, dude, it was really sad. He was telling Dominic Reyes during the fight, like, please hit me in the face. I want to feel something.
Did he really say that?
That's what Dominic said.
Oh my God,
so,
dude.
And
the backstory is Anthony Smith's longtime best friend and training partner died unexpectedly just a couple of weeks ago. So even before the fight, he was in tears and
Just fucked up, man.
You could tell he wasn't in the cage Saturday night. Dominic Reyes just kind of went to town on him, and he just kind of took it, sadly. So it was one of probably the saddest ending to a career, possibly.
I'd say, and he's like, I don't know if I can do this without him.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do another fight without him. It's rough.
Time heals all wounds. I wish the best to Anthony Smith.
Yeah, that's tough. So we know he's going to do good in the broadcasting. I know he's on Fox. I guess he's got I know he's on ESPN.
Yeah,
he's got one of the coverage shows.
Yeah, he's got a job.
So he's doing okay. Let's get into the main card.
Sure.
Let's get into the reason we're all here. Nate Landwehr versus Doo Ho Choi.
The Korean Superboy.
The Korean Superboy.
Well, there's a little taste on that little accent. I don't know if we're allowed to do that.
Did I hit a little accent? I didn't even mean to. Oops. He showed out Saturday night. He pieced Landwehr up, dude. We were completely wrong.
Yeah, and see, the only thing I would question about that fight was Doo Ho Choi's chin, where I knew Nate had a chin.
Yeah, he definitely had a chin.
It was supposed to be a little more sluggish back and forth, and it turned out to be a little, I don't want to say one-sided, but
it was mostly one-sided.
It didn't go down how we and I predicted.
No. So. Doo Ho Choi, I think this is one of those fights where you realize when they say there's levels to this game, this is one of those fights. Like Nate Landwehr had been beating up some people, but probably not to the level of Doo Ho Choi.
Some cans. He's fighting some cans.
Possibly. Going to war with some cans.
Yeah.
He's entertaining, but like he got pieced up. Like Doo Ho Choi, that uppercut he would hit, God, it was nasty.
It was nasty.
Every time he hit Nate, it was loud. It was a fun fight. This one stays on the main card.
Yeah. You gotta have something to open it up. You gotta give him a little appetite, a little calamari in there, dude.
Let's move to the really questionable fight of the night.
What do you mean?
Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie.
Dude, what?
Do you think Kron Gracie should be in the UFC?
He's a Gracie. Of course he should be in the UFC.
Does all he know how to do is pull guard?
No, he knows how to get hit.
He knows how to get hit.
Yeah.
That man pulled guard every single round and did nothing else.
You see what happens. Now, I've told you this before. Bryce Mitchell's jiu-jitsu is top-notch, and he got it from Eddie Bravo on YouTube. Didn't have to leave Arkansas. Didn't have to leave his little old gym in Arkansas. So you have Arkansas BJJ versus Gracie BJJ. What are you doing, dude? You got Nate Diaz in your corner, and I think it was the fight right before this, if not the other one. No, the fight right before this was one of the worst performances in UFC history. The one before that, he just kind of like stood there and walked him down. Boom, boom, boom. He's eating shots, and he's like, I'm not going anywhere, bitch. Kind of the Diaz tactic.
Yeah.
But he didn't return. The Diaz tactic is kind of classical Mexican fighter. You take one to give two. Kron was like, I'm going to take 5 to give you none.
To just hold on. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to wrap my legs around you, and we're going to fall backwards. That's what we're going to do. That's all he did. That was his big move.
But a la Ryan Hall, any guard puller, Chase Hooper used to do like that before his striking got crisp. Shout out to Chase Hooper. Looks fantastic.
He did.
You cannot pull guard. And then if you catch the replay, it's a nasty knockout. Catch the replay. He pulls guard. Nasty. Bryce Mitchell is ready for it. Slips his elbow and arm in between them. Slams him. And then just rains down from the heavens above. Bible holding it straight up. Just smashes Kron. And I think it's the only time Kron's been knocked out.
And it's... I believe it's Mitchell's only knockout.
Maybe. But
I'm going to double check that.
Regardless, while you do that, well-deserved knockout.
It was.
Well-deserved.
I was happy to see him knock this dude out.
And that's annoying because you want to pull for the jiu-jitsu guys, you want to pull for the wrestlers, but you also want to see, like the Habibs, we've said this dozens of times, if you have the Habib where he's wrestling, yes, but he's advancing position. He's getting to a point where he can ground and pound and beat the shit out of you. You don't just want to see a scramble match or failed takedowns. Like, I think, who was it that, it was Marab versus Aldo, I think. And he just shot 0 for 13 on takedowns. Hold him up against the cage. Got both hooks in, and Aldo, he's literally like, and whatever. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see a failed wrestling match. You don't want to see a guy Imanari roll or pull guard, or it's embarrassing because your grappling is supposed to be your strength. Use your striking to get there.
Yeah, like, you have to do... This is mixed martial arts. If you have nothing else,
right,
you don't belong. And I don't think Kron Gracie has anything else to offer.
Not at a high level.
He has not looked good in any of his last few fights in the UFC. I can confirm that was Bryce Mitchell's first ever knockout.
That's crazy.
I was questioning Kron Gracie being in the UFC before the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm even further questioning Kron Gracie being in the UFC after that.
That last name goes a long way.
It does, but it should have been on the prelims. Probably should have been on the early prelims.
Probably.
That man doesn't know how to fight in the octagon.
But it's Bryce. You have to have Bryce up there because you don't have to, but to it would seem like a disciplinary action to put Bryce, where it seems really fitting to put Kron on the early prelims. It'd be like, oh, well, Bryce Mitchell on the early prelims? It would feel like it's like
what about...
They're not doing due diligence.
Question.
Sure.
Just name value. Does Bryce Mitchell hold more name value than an Aljamain Sterling? An Anthony Smith? A Dominic Reyes? A Vicente Luque?
You threw a lot at me. Aljo, maybe no, but more likability. Anthony Smith, maybe no on the name, but more of a relevant trajectory.
Yeah.
Even though he got conked by Josh Emmett.
Brutally knocked out by Josh Emmett.
And so Anthony Smith has that one against Khalil Roundtree where he's like... So they're coming off of really, really bad performances. I believe so. I believe that was Bryce's last.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And so he goes into this Kron Gracie fight. You kind of want to see him bounce back, and that's what he did. So Monday morning quarterback, looking back on the fact that he was on the main card, I'm not mad at it. I'm more upset. I'm more upset that Kron was on the main card, took that position, took that spot, and then did what he did. Made for a fantastic win for Bryce Mitchell. Made for a lousy performance from not only the jiu-jitsu community, but the Gracie name. And I hope he never hears me say that, because he could
wrap us up and break every bone.
That's about it, though. I'm not worried about getting knocked out by Kron Gracie.
No, I'm not worried about getting knocked out by Kron Gracie. He's 0-3 in the UFC.
1-2. No, 1-2. No?
Okay, so on the UFC website, the Caceres versus Gracie fight doesn't have a winner. So I don't know why that is. I'll go look somewhere else, but he lost against Cub Swanson. He lost against Jourdain.
Yep.
He lost against Bryce Mitchell.
Yep.
So it might be 1-3.
Which still is... Those aren't like... People used to get contracts, and they used to sign like full-length contracts, and then if you lost, like, it's up to them to tarnish or not tarnish, decide whether you get to keep going or not.
Yeah, he's 1-3.
You don't have to fight out your full contract if they decide to cut you.
If you're not good.
If you're not
entertaining.
Even up to par. Come on,
you have to either be good or you have to be entertaining.
Yeah, because if people want to see you fight,
neither.
No, if people want to see you fight, a la Justin Gaethje, a la Michael Chandler, you can lose. Nate Diaz, even you can lose, and people will be like, "Nah, fuck that. He needed like 6 more rounds, and he would have."
Yeah. Keep him on the main card.
God,
Conor Gracie's not that guy.
The most praise that he's getting is us right now, giving him the time of day, talking about him as long as we have. So yeah, I'm ready to go on if you are.
Yeah, let's move on.
Shout out to the Gracie family, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Mega controversial fight. We have Ciryl Gane going up against Alexander Volkov.
We went Ciryl, right?
We went Ciryl, and we're technically right.
That's
such a be right.
We got to stop calling him Ciryl.
Ciryl Gane. Oh, this I know it's because he's French, and it has something to do with the way they say. But did you hear the way he says probably on the post-fight presser?
Probably. Oh no, I didn't hear that part.
It's so cool.
Probably.
That's how I'm gonna start saying it.
Dude, you're gonna get looks.
Probably.
I
loved it. But this fight probably should have went the other way.
Most likely. Dude,
yeah.
Dana White goes up to Volkov after the fight and he goes, "You got fucked."
Yeah.
And that man,
Ciryl Gane didn't believe he won the fight.
He wanted to walk out after the victory. When are we gonna change this system, man? Why?
Judging is so fucked.
It can make or break a career, dude.
It can.
Volkov, dude. Ciryl, he's right up there with the Tom Aspinalls, the Francis Ngannous. He lost to Francis, got kind of wrestle fucked by Francis, which doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't compute.
That was a weird fight.
So he's up there. Like, Volkov has a chance if he takes out Ciryl. We know it's surreal, but this is CCMA. Ciryl. I guess I expected more because they're both strikers. I guess we expected that chess match kind of thing.
Yeah.
Volkov did his fucking thing, dude.
Volkov kind of pieced him up. I think he took him down a couple times. He had ground control. I like Ciryl Gane a lot.
Right.
So, this isn't any shade to him, but Volkov won that fight.
Just did his thing, right?
I want to say it's, out of all the missed calls that you would say the UFC has had, apparently this was the biggest discrepancy fight on verdict.
Number-wise?
It was this was clearly the most clear wrong answer ever.
And it was split. It was split, right?
Yeah, it was split.
Which having it split is I don't know, this is just irrelevant anecdotal evidence. I don't know what they're allowed to do as far as having their phones by them. I'll drive down the road and I'll pass 8 out of 10 cars and they're all looking down at their phone. I'm like, someone's gonna fucking get murdered.
Yeah, we're all on our phone. Who's looking at the road?
Are they allowed to look? Because they don't have monitors, which fucking sucks. They have to look at the fight through the cage, which already is a biased kind of position, especially
a little bit tougher
if they're on the other side of said octagon. Are they eating chicken tendies? Are they on their phones?
They got a beer?
Somebody went to a pee break or something like that? What is going on where they're not seeing what we're seeing? Like I said, camera angles aside, changes in viewpoints, but are they locked in? Or do they want to be there?
This has to be done. Ciryl Gane pretty much said, I didn't think I won that fight.
Mm-hmm.
The fighters in there saying, I didn't win. What's up, guys? What's the fix? Do we need more judges to root out the couple of bad cards?
5? You can't have a panel of 10. It takes them long enough as it is. It takes them long enough as it is after the round. Okay, let me gather up these 3 judges. 5 is fine, I feel.
5 would be good. Who's in control of this? Is it a UFC decision or is it a commission decision?
So it just depends. It goes because you have the New York State Athletic Commission, the Nevada Athletic Commission, the California State Athletic Commission. You have different commissions, yes, and they appoint But there are judges with multiple registrations. That's why we see the refs that we do. Herb Dean is Nevada State Athletic Commission certified. He's New York State Athletic. So he's he's certified, and that's their plethora of people to choose from. Refs, judges, personnel in general. They they control that. Where the UFC is just like they have to get certified via commission, and then the commission's like, okay, you're certified, these are the judges we're giving you, these are the refs we're giving you. And that's just like there's only so much the UFC can do, whereas he's never gonna ref again, fuck that, he's never reffing this fight ever again. And then I
do feel like if the UFC had control over the judge situation, something would have been done by now, because Dana has come out multiple times and said something's wrong.
Do you see where that could be problematic?
Yeah.
Where the company that is hosting the fights, they get to choose the judges? It's like, okay, all right. That
shouldn't be the case either. Something needs to be done, because...
There have to be strikes. Okay, strike one, Adelaide Bird, you messed up a boxing card, and now you're driving a Ferrari. She's paid off, dude. You can pay anyone. These are just people. Judges, like courtroom judges, have the gavel and everything. That's just a person. Doctors, they are specialists in their surgeons, master surgeons. At the end of the day, that's just a dude that's good at surgery. Still has sin, still makes mistakes, still a fuck up in other realms. So these people, appointed at judge, appointed at ref, they're just people. But we hold them to the highest. We hold them to the highest standard, because you're in the number one monopolized MMA sport in the world. You have to be better than this. There has to be better judging. Something has to be done.
Yeah, Volkov got fucked, as Dana said. This one was pretty obvious.
Had the patty braids going and everything.
Yeah, he looked fine. He looked clean.
Fucking fire, dude.
Dude, he looked like he was like trying to get into a title shot, and this victory could have got him a future title shot.
Did you see what he said about the judge, herself? I believe it was a woman. He goes, yeah, I think she just liked Cyril bodies more than mine.
Maybe.
Because he's built like Anthony Joshua. Cyril Gane is...
Yeah, Cyril Gane is like...
He's built, dude.
He's something else.
Volkov comes in there looking like an off-season Ivan Dragov.
Yeah.
It's preference, It's whatever is appealing to your eye, I guess. And
I guess so.
Cyril put on a more he put on a more aesthetic performance than Volkov did. Anyways.
I guess so. Yeah, anyways, let's go on.
We got it right. No, we got it right.
We got this right.
I feel wrong.
I feel wrong, yeah.
I feel wrong, dude.
Fortunately, this wasn't one we were split on, because that could have been real bad. But
it could have got a little hairy.
You got anything else to say about old Cyril?
Fight Tom.
Does he deserve it after that fight?
Doesn't matter. It's on his record. What do you think? They're going to run it back? They're going to run it back?
I don't know. I don't know what you do, especially when Dana knows how bad that call was.
He can't even get the 12-6 disqualification John Jones elbow reversed. He's not going to go out of his way to reverse this one. He goes up.
Well, I wouldn't expect him to get it reversed, but...
He goes up, he sends his condolences. Hey, you got fucked. I'm sorry. Everybody here knows, but it's going to go on your record as a loss.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry. We're sorry.
Oops.
I'm done, dude.
Yeah, let's move on to the co-main event.
I'm ready to talk about the fight of the night, dude.
Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian Machado Garry. Probably was definitely the best overall fight on the main card. But that's not saying a whole lot.
But you have to look at it from a selling aspect. Two undefeated fighters. A title shot was given to Rakhmonov, and then Belal, the toe, he pulled out, which I want to get into that in just a second.
The toe.
And so, I'm trying not to laugh about it prematurely. So, Ian Garry, who I backed, and I'll take full responsibility for backing, gave me shades of like, oh shit. Took this fight on short notice.
Mm-hmm.
Had his back twice. Threatened the rear naked choke. Made Shavkat look human.
He had a deep choke in. Was it round 5 or round 4?
5.
5. Where I really thought Shavkat might lose there. Ian Machado Garry proved, without a doubt, he belongs.
Yeah.
At the top. Like, this was
a full training camp, which apparently I think one of the CLs in Shavkat, MCL, ACL was torn.
Which is pretty impressive too. But that doesn't take away anything from Ian Machado Garry. You know what? I'm not going to call him our nickname tonight.
Please don't. Please don't.
He doesn't deserve it.
Not tonight.
He took the boogeyman on 2 weeks' notice and made him look beatable. It was a good fight. It was a close fight. Shavkat got the win. Definitely don't think that was the wrong call. But
no. But took him to decision. He
did.
Ruined his 100% finishing rate, which I feel like it's like, fuck. Like that's you can sell him as an undefeated fighter. You can no longer sell him as a 100% finisher. And Ian did that. We talked about this last time, right? The journalist, he who shall not be named, just Luke Thomas, whatever. I told you what he said last time, right? We might have texted about it. I think we said it on the show, maybe not. He goes, to all you Ian Garry haters, if he wins and beats Shavkat, this is your 9/11. He goes, if you're a wanker and you don't like Ian Garry, he said this on Submission Radio. Shout out to the boys on Submission Radio from the land down under. He goes, if Ian Garry wins, this is your 9/11. And I'm like,
what does that mean?
I'm like, dude, you could.
It ain't that serious.
It's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
Which, if he would have won, I kind of would have rejoiced in being right, and you would have been like, oh, shout out to him.
Yeah.
And we're not the biggest Ian Garry haters. We've ragged on the guy.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny to do it. It would not change my day today if he had won.
No. We gotta declare war on Irish.
So fuck you, Luke Thomas. You're dumb, dude. You cannot. Come on.
This is your 9/11.
And he said that. You can look it up. Go on Instagram, Submission Radio. We'll put the clip up, maybe. But I'll put it in the bio. I'll put it in the bio. But yeah, dude. I was really impressed. I think there was a rippage of the shorts. They had to bring Ian Garry's shorts.
He got new shorts.
Mid-fight.
Because he was up against the cage for so long those first 2 rounds, it like tore up his butt.
Tore a hole in his butt, dude.
A hole in that butt.
If Shavkat wants to, he'd tear a hole in your butt, dude.
He would, dude. He'll put me against the cage. Shavkat loves just putting motherfuckers into the cage and just beating on them.
I still, to this day, if you look up the picture, I think it's on either Full Violence, something like that. It's the picture of Shavkat choking out Jeff Neal, which if you do a rear naked, if you do a rear naked, you're in this little crevice right here. You're in the crack of your arm. He had Jeff Neal by the foot. You could crush somebody's windpipe like that. And he's just like, it's totally embarrassing. But shout out to Shavkat. The fight went back and forth, went to a decision. Ian Garry, ego at an all-time high. He's like, I don't feel like I lost. I don't feel like he brought anything that was super spectacular. I made him look human. I did that. He's gotta put it on for the fans.
Of course.
He's like, my energy did not dwindle tonight. I'm like, all right, dude.
Fair. That's fair. 2-week notice. There's a loss on your record, but it doesn't really tell the whole story of the fight.
People are just gonna look at that L and be like, oh, you're 15-1.
Oh, you lost, yeah.
But that's not fair to him. He fought the scariest dude in the division. Everybody was saying no. So, do you have anything to say about the fight itself before I get into the funniest moment, probably in UFC history?
Nope. I know where you're going.
So, the decision is made. And winner by unanimous decision, Shavkat Rakhmonov. Hand is raised. They do this thing, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Let the fighter who wins have their moment. You cannot just do this prematurely. Let but they love it. They'll bring the next one up, or in this case, the champion, into the ring, and they'll have a face-off right after the victory. Like, still in the octagon. Everybody, I think even the opponent is usually still in the octagon.
Yeah.
So, Belal Muhammad, giving him the respect, was supposed to fight Shavkat. This was supposed to be on this card. Probably main event this card, most likely.
Yeah, it would have been the main event.
He pulls out over a toe infection, toe energy. Has since been cleared as of recent. And so he's coming. He's trying to get into the ring for the face-off.
Yeah.
And he's stopped by security.
Yep.
Joe Rogan had to vouch for him. He was like,
this is the champ.
Security stopping him. They don't know he's the champ. He's good. And dude, I could not feel. I know embarrassment, like when you don't know that your boss is your boss, and in that situation he's not the boss. But like you don't want to be. If you're Belal, you don't want to be like, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
But they had.
I mean, I think I would have. That's a situation where like, do you know who I am?
I'm the champ. That's all. I'm the champ. Which there are a lot of drunk dudes. It's the co-main. There are people plastered. No. I'm the champ. Let me in. There should have been somebody to escort him or to sign off on him walking up. And
it's the champ. The security doesn't know who the champ is.
The security of the company that they work for doesn't know who the champ is.
They forgot.
Which brings me to the greatest point of UFC 310. Remember the name has to be changed.
It has to be.
You can no longer go by remember the name.
It's the funniest thing because he gets forgotten all the time.
Please God, please Allah, change your name. You have to drop it. Just go by Belal Muhammad. Nobody calls you remember the name. Muhammad. The toe. Oh, dude, I think the toe would be a little like damn. Ooh, I don't.
The toe.
The toe.
What's he got to do?
You talking about the toe?
It's so ridiculous, dude.
It was embarrassing, dude. I felt secondhand embarrassment watching that clip, and then shout out to my boy C-Mac. He's going through it right now. Ireland investigations and allegations, and
oh no.
I'm just saying, he gets on Twitter, and I think he's one of Belal's greatest haters. He's laughing hysterically. He's obviously still on the sauce or on the powder.
Yeah, the snow.
He's the devil's dandruff is getting to old C-Mac. And he's laughing his head off because he's like, they won't even let you in the ring. He starts quoting Joe Rogan. He's like, he's the champ. You got to let him in. When Joe Rogan needs to vouch for you visually, like, no. People should know who you are at this point.
This is the champ.
No.
That's so funny.
We got to let him in. So he gets roasted by C-Mac. I actually saw in the comments, Connor's trying to use Belal to stay relevant. I'm like, I'm getting rage baited in comments right now, dude. So, I think that was, dude, that's the funniest UFC moment I've seen in such a long time.
It's so ridiculous.
Shout out to Ian Garry. He did his thing. Shout out to Shavkat. He did what we thought he would do, but I had to take the fork in the road.
That's fair. I had to do it on the next one. And I was even more wrong than you were.
Well, I have words about the next one too. So I think we should move on. If you're ready.
Let's go to the main event.
Sure.
Alexandre Pantoja versus the debuting Kai Asakura.
Do you think that Alexandre Pantoja, do you think he's the 125-pound GOAT?
125-pound GOAT.
You know who it is. You know who the GOAT is.
Yeah, not Alexandre Pantoja.
Not even close.
No.
It's like when somebody in your neighborhood is having a barbecue, and you're like, is somebody barbecuing? He's not even sniffing GOAT status. It's not even in his realm of possibility. So he does his thing, uses ground game, submits him in, round 2?
2.
Not really in an impressive fashion. You would think it would be dragged out a little more of a 5-round fight. Go ahead. If you want to talk about the fight, I'm only interested in the post-fight comments.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Kaya Sakura, I felt like he just got dominated. He had absolutely nothing for Alexander Pantoja. It's another one where it just kind of shows the level of a UFC champ over what was he from? Rizin? I get it. Rizin. He got dominated, and it's probably not fair to say, oh, Kaya Sakura, he must not be good. Maybe he's good, but just not quite UFC championship level. He got thrown in there in his first fight. I do want to see this guy come back, fight somebody, a normal, build-up fight.
You mean like somebody who's making their UFC debut would do?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I mean, I can't blame him for taking the fight, obviously.
Why would they do that as an organization? There's been a couple of fighters that have done that, like Nick Diaz. Way back in the day. I'm talking early Diaz. He was Strikeforce champ, and dude, on a seven win streak, best in the world, best 170 in the world. They go, hey, we're bringing you over to the UFC. You're gonna fight GSP for the title. He messed that up, and his debut actually ended up being BJ Penn, which he fucking rocked BJ Penn. But I'm talking about Prime Diaz. I'm a little sore to take it off of the main event. I'm a little sore. I need Nick to come out and verify that he's okay. I need that from old Nicky Diaz. I'm tired of rumors. I'm tired of
a lot of sad rumors going around about Nick Diaz currently,
or his condition. Or I just need him to be like, no, I'm fighting this guy. He was supposed to fight Vicente Luque on this card. That's why I bring him up. He is relevant, and he's also relevant when I talk about people making their debut against the champ. My heart's hurt, man. Come on, Nick, tell us. I'll DM you. Tell me something, please.
just tell him. Just tell him.
But back to your point, I think that Kai should just make his debut against you're a champion. You don't want to fight the 50th ranked flyweight.
No.
But you cannot go champ for champ when Pantoja has proven that he is the best in the world. Beat my boy Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, this was a dominant fight. There's really not much else to say about the fight itself. It was domination. Alexander Pantoja, but sub in round 2.
How'd you feel about the post-fight call-out?
The call-out?
Yeah.
It's so funny, dude.
Who'd he call out?
Oh, just a little mouse.
A little
Mighty Mouse.
The mightiest
Demetrius
mouse.
Johnson. Come on, bro.
I'm the GOAT of 125. Even if you do the math, brother. Even if you do the math. Demetrius Johnson had 11 title defenses. Was up there with Anderson Silva. John Jones. Which not now, but brother, I told you don't even sniff GOAT status.
No.
You fucking idiot.
That's a stupid call out.
Wasted your call out. That's one of those call outs where if you truly think you're on top, you challenge anyone. You just go, hey, I'm here. What's next? Anybody that they give me, I'm gonna wear them down. To sign DJ back at 38 years old, what are you?
DJ's not coming back to the UFC.
What are you proving there? He's been retired for a whole year. Doesn't miss it one bit. Building his mighty empire. Check out Mighty Gaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
He breaks down fights, breaks down knockouts.
Some of the best breakdowns you'll watch as far as
dude,
the real insides of the technique.
He's a savant in the mind. So I think it was very dumb. And now,
stupid. It was bad.
Who do they give you next? They're gonna be like, no, we're not getting DJ. You're dumb. Anybody they give you is not who you want. You should have had somebody else in the chamber. Go up to 135. Come on, man.
Yeah, flyweight. Like, I don't even know who he does fight next.
That's why they gave him Kai, because he doesn't really have people to fight. And
it's a weak division as far as like just number of.
That's why you have to go up to 135. You have to Call out Sean O'Malley at 135. It doesn't even have to be for the championship. I'm tired of these double champ moves. He does have double champ status, preferably, but then they have Umar Nurmagomedov versus Merab coming up. You have to wait on that fight, which you're probably going to do anyways. It just fires me up, dude. Leave these retired fighters alone.
Yeah, quit. Just stop. They want money. I get it. They want to make the money fights.
You're not entertaining enough for that. No. You just beat the Ryzen champ. Shout out to Justin Scoggins, my old partner. He went to Ryzen. Fought overseas. Got TP choked. It's a rough game over there. It's a rough game, tough. But it's not the UFC.
It's not the UFC, boys.
Manel Cape, the F word.
Manel Cape. Yeah.
Yeah. He beat Kai Asakura. Knocked him out, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so you kind of
ninth.
If you did your research, you were kind of like, oh, he just gets to, which, whatever. UFC know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a marketing ploy more than anything.
Are you ready for 311?
I'm ready for 311.
They're saying 311 is the biggest card since 300. Which, if you look it up, if you look it up real quick, I don't like. This one had early power, like early prelim power. I looked at it briefly. Yeah. I don't see that early prelim power, but the main card.
We're looking at a more normally stacked main card, heavy, big name fighters on the main card. We're gonna have the 4 heaviest wrestlers you could probably put into the 2 main events.
Great. Slots. Oh, we're watching NCAA. All right, cool.
We're gonna watch some NCAA wrestling, but we are gonna get a great striking match in Yuri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill.
Ooh, which I want to give a shout out to Jamal Hill. He has a really good 4K-esque podcast where like he's got the camera, the lighting, everything is awesome. He might be the biggest dunce and bitch.
He's ruined his popularity
that I've ever came across. That was, dude, we were praising him during that Glover Teixeira fight.
Dude, I love Jamal Hill.
He ran into the wrong one.
He did.
He tried
broke him mentally.
Was it the PI? It was. Yeah. It was the UFC PI. Runs into Alex Pereira. And he's talking shit. Got the towel, like a jock. Got the towel wrapped around his neck. What's up, bitch? I told you.
What you
I told you about it. I would run into you. Alex takes a pair of gloves. While he's wearing gloves, takes a pair of gloves, throws them at him, and is like, what's up?
Let's fight. Let's just fight.
And now
we're not here to talk.
Now Jamal Hill's like, nah, I fight for money. I fight in the ring.
I fight for free. Well, it might be the only time you get to see Alex again.
You said it. If he beats Jiri, I mean,
he might. If he beats Yuri, I could see a rematch coming. Maybe.
Dude, everybody know they caught it on camera. You idiot.
It was so dumb.
Almost the whole MMA community saw you bitch out. At least spar a little bit, or fight him.
Do the spar.
This is your integrity. You approached him for a reason. What did you think was going to happen? You were just going to bitch him and he's going to back down?
Not Alex Pereira.
He threw you gloves and you were like, nah.
Nah, bro.
Dude, shout out to Jamal Hill. I can't believe. And then he even tried to break it down on his podcast. I don't even know what it's called, but
come up with some excuses.
Stop, man. You're hurting dude. You were on top, dude.
Jamal Hill might have a harder fall from Grace than Ian Machado Garry.
They're up there. Hey, dude, we need to start ranking these fall-offs.
Dude, it's bad.
I just want to... Clay Guida has never lost 3 in a row in his entire career. So I want to give a shout-out to Chase Hooper for being that first time. Hoopy, dude. I just want to give a shout-out to him. Who was that Canadian fighter? She was a woman. Felicia Spencer.
Yeah.
I trained with Felicia Spencer as well. I don't think I talked much to Chase, if at all. But I did get to ask Felicia Spencer grilled cheese or PB&J. I think she said grilled cheese. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's not what you told us Saturday. You said she said PB&J.
And you're like, oh yeah, and then you walked away.
I think I remember being mad. I remember being mad about it. So I think she might have said grilled cheese. But regardless, Robert used to hang out with top tier UFC fighters.
We're talking them from across the room in the gym. They were training. He was learning.
We were doing warm-ups, dude. We were doing warm-ups together.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I was running in a circle. I was doing high knees with Chase Hooper, dude.
Oh my god.
I was checking out Felicia Spencer's booty. Shout out to Felicia Spencer.
Yo. Felicia Spencer wants nothing to do with you.
100%. Regardless, that was the old me. I'm looking forward to 311. I'm looking forward to getting back to some workouts myself. You know, like
January, baby.
If you're out there, this is a Jackson chain. You can go to jackson.com/ccmm.
Ain't giving us nothing?
Fuck them. God.
Exactly.
But the real sponsor is DraftKings.com/ccmma. TBD on what exactly you get. I think if you bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets. If you have a gambling addiction, call 1-800-GAMBLING.
You don't get shit.
Anyways, that's UFC 310 in the
boys and girls.
biggest nutshell we could possibly give you. From our couch to yours, CCMMA is here. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment if we have a weak or watery take that you don't agree with.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some you don't agree with.
Shout out to our boy. Shout out to our boy Jay. Shout out to Jeremiah. Dustin Poirier. He's always coming through with a slick comment. Love each and every one of you. We will see you for the UFC 311 pre-show. Kyle, you have anything to add?
Nope, I'm ready for it. Let's go.
We're out. We'll see you later.
Bye.